The fact that Bayer lost this trial despite it being set up in the most favorable way for them is a huge setback, said Thomas Rohback, a Connecticut-based defense lawyer. The company, which bought Monsanto last year, on Wednesday declined to comment beyond that statement. Tuesday's finding did not address liability, which will be determined following the second trial phase that began on Wednesday. Bayer denies glyphosate or Roundup cause cancer. The German company faces more than 11,200 lawsuits over the popular weed killer. Last August, following the first Roundup trial, a California state court jury issued a $289 million verdict against the company. Bayer and the joint litigation team are working to ensure that, going forward, this overwhelming science will get the full consideration it deserves, Baumann said in an August 23 conference call. A lot at stake. There is a lot at stake for Bayer, which acquired Roundup maker Monsanto last year for $63 billion. Though Bayer does not break out sales figures for Roundup, glyphosate is the world's most widely used weed killer, and Roundup is the leading brand. Vince Chhabria, the San Francisco federal judge overseeing the Hardeman case, agreed with the company's argument that such evidence was a distraction from the scientific question of whether glyphosate causes cancer. He agreed to split the trial in a January order. Had Bayer had won the first phase, there would have been no second phase looking at company liability. Now that it has lost, almost all of the previously excluded evidence can be presented to the jury. Plaintiffs' lawyers hit Bayer with those allegations in their opening statements for the second phase on Wednesday. Amy Wagstaff, one of Hardeman's lawyers, said Monsanto influenced the science around Roundup through its cozy relationship with regulators. Bayer could convince the jury in the second phase that, despite their finding that Roundup played a substantial role in Hardeman's cancer, the company was not liable. Experts said that was unlikely. They could present evidence of how careful they were in developing Roundup, but that's an uphill battle given that the scientific evidence was their strongest argument, said Alexandra Lahave, a law professor at the University of Connecticut. It would not be surprising at all for the Ninth Circuit to uphold what the jury did in this case, particularly given the great effort Chhabria put into creating a level playing field for Monsanto, Jarvis said. However, experts said it was probably too soon to write off Bayer's legal strategy, noting future Roundup cases could result in different outcomes. It's a relatively early phase in this litigation as a whole, and we just need to see more trials to understand Bayer's liability, said Adam Zimmerman, a law professor at Los Angeles-based Loyola Law School.